Hi, I'm Bill Bradley. Join me for a recent excerpt of American Voices. Here in American Voices, we celebrate all that this country has to offer. And after hearing about people who do wonderful things and people's life stories, we also want to celebrate the land. So each week we invite authors to talk about a favorite place or sound in the country. This time, Jennifer Murphy is here. Her new book is First Responder, a memoir of life, death, and love on New York City's front lines. Here's Jennifer Murphy.
My name is Jennifer Murphy, and my favorite sound in America is the sound of emergency sirens, particularly New York City ambulance sirens. I have loved the sound of sirens since I was a small child. I have loved it since I was a little girl. My mother can tell you this. My family will confirm it. And there are service people all over my family. I think it's in the blood where I've always been drawn to emergencies. It's always interested me. I remember the first time I worked the sirens on the ambulance. At first, I didn't know if I could drive and work the sirens at the same time. So my partner worked them for me. And I could not wait to get to the point where I knew how to drive the ambulance with my left hand on the steering wheel and work the sirens and the air horn and the rumbler if we had one available to us with my right hand. It was a whole new way of driving and a whole new way of responding in a vehicle in New York City. And it was so exciting and also, of course, very scary. I think most people, when they're hearing the sound, they are in their apartment, say, and they hear it from the outside. But when I hear the sound, I am inside the ambulance. So I'm actually working the sirens. And if I'm hearing them externally, it is because I'm on scene in an ambulance and I hear other emergency responders coming. They're coming to help, which is, for me, one of my favorite sounds. And I love service people. And I feel like they're my people who work in the street, who work in the field, who work in civil service are my people. So whenever I hear sirens, I kind of turn my head and think, the family's here. You know, who's here? Is it fire? Is it police? Is it emergency ambulance? Is it paramedics, rescue paramedics? And most days I can tell by the sirens which vehicle is arriving. They're also going to help someone. So I think in New York City, one of the, of course, biggest mass traumas we've had as a nation and particularly as a city is 9/11. And the sound of 9/11 was very tragic in the sense that there weren't a lot of people recovered. And so the sound was silence. Last year when COVID hit New York City, the air filled with sirens. And sometimes I'll be watching TV or listening to the radio. And as we approach the anniversary of the event, when it hit New York City last spring, people will play recordings of what that sirens sounded like. And it went on for months. And when I hear it now, it brings tears to my eyes because I think of course, all the lives that were lost last spring. But it also brings tears of gratitude because I was able to be on an ambulance and be able to help. And when you hear sirens, that means someone has called for help and help is on the way. I think for me, what happens with the sound of emergency sirens is that it's a signal that something extraordinary is happening. Usually, of course, it's something extraordinary in the realm of life or death. Illness, critical illness or sickness, but it could also be something astonishing and life-sustaining. For instance, someone having a baby, a childbirth in the field, that means sirens are coming. So there's something about the extraordinary, that the everydayness of life is interrupted for sirens, which means people are coming to help. And I have great admiration for people in the business of helping and saving lives. Those are my people. They're kind of my favorite stripe of people, civil servants. And what could be more reassuring than knowing a fleet of people is coming to help whoever is in distress?
Thank you for listening to American Voices here on my YouTube channel. For more interviews celebrating the goodness and creativity of the American people, click the subscribe button below.